You clicked because the title said Unlivable. You're in the right place. 10 U.S. cities that promised wealth, sunshine, and beachfront glam are now stress tests for heat, floods, and wallets. Think AC bills that feel like a second mortgage and tides creeping into your living room. We're counting from desert mirages to coastal favorites where porous ground undermines million-dollar flood walls, and inland hubs where humidity turns a short walk into a health risk. By the end, you'll see how the mega-city dream breaks on climate and cost, and which one on this list is closer to its tipping point than anyone admits. Number 1, Miami, Florida. You move for palm trees, neon sunsets, Art Deco vibes. The listing says waterfront adjacent. Cute. Then a sunny day rolls in and your curb gurgles like a fish tank. The tide literally knocks at noon. It's real. It's happening. But here's the catch. Miami fights back with raised roads and pumps, and the water still wins. The limestone base is a sponge. Flood walls block waves. Water slides underground and burps out your lawn drain. King tides shove brackish water into streets several times a year. Insurers hike premiums or bail. Saltwater chews rebar. Manholes weep. Elevators short. Number 2, Phoenix, Arizona. Cheap stucco, big sky, backyard pool. You feel like you hacked home prices until July. You open the utility app and your AC bill reads like a car payment. Let that sink in. But here's the catch. Phoenix runs heat on hard mode. Days over 110 stack. Nights don't cool. Asphalt traps it, so the city stays hot 24/7. Outdoor work pauses. Crews shift to pre-dawn. ERs take heat illness like clockwork. The grid strains, and a blackout during a heat wave turns deadly fast. Water isn't a subplot. CAP cuts and shrinking Colorado flows push cities to chase pricier sources. Some exurbs already hit building moratoriums. Groundwater isn't a free refill either. So the math flips. Low mortgage, high utilities, rising HOA watering rules. Phoenix works if you can afford nonstop cooling and navigate water politics. Heat is one bill, water is another. Now gravity. Number 3, New Orleans, Louisiana. Beignets, brass bands, shotgun houses. You buy the vibe, then you price flood insurance, and it looks like a luxury car payment. Let that sink in. New Orleans sells soul, but the line item you didn't plan for is water, everywhere, from every direction. But here's the catch. 3 feet of sea level rise can inundate a third of the city. The ground sinks while storms hit harder, and the wetlands that used to take the punch keep shrinking. Levees and pumps save lives, but they need constant cash and upgrades. Tidal flooding creeps into low blocks. Heavy rain outruns drainage. Every storm alert turns into inventory Tetris. Car up, files in a bin, pets in carriers. Number 4, Houston, Texas. You move for jobs, no income tax, and a house with a media room big enough for a small concert. Then, the bayous remind you who's boss. One heavy storm and streets flip to creeks. Let that sink in. But here's the catch. Paved sprawl makes rain run like it's late for work. Ordinary storms hit and flash floods pop. Harvey wasn't a fluke. It dumped feet of rain and exposed how fast basins overwhelm. 100-year storms show up like holidays. Some houses flood, rebuild, flood again. Summer heat spikes AC demand while the ERCOT grid stays. Aspirational. Power flickers during heat waves aren't just annoying. They're dangerous. Air quality alerts stack near refineries. Heat index days climb. Insurance deductibles rise, and premiums in risky zones jump hard. The affordability headline hides flood maps and mitigation bills. Your equity is only as safe as the nearest bayou, from waterlogged to water-starved. Next city runs on imported river luck and casino optimism. Number 5, Las Vegas, Nevada. Cheap flights, neon nights, and cul-de-sacs named after plants that gave up in 2007. You land a stucco box with a pool and think you cracked the code. But here's the catch. Vegas runs on a hydrology magic trick. Lake Mead's bathtub ring isn't decor. It's a PSA that your faucet depends on snowpack and upstream politics. Here's the thing. The city recycles indoor water like a champ, but lawns, pools, and misting everything still drain the budget. Tiered Colorado River cuts squeeze allocations. And those reductions ripple through permits and growth plans. Record heat streaks slam workers and spike power demand. HOAs turn into landscaping cops, policing turf and drip lines like it's the HOA Olympics. Vegas can engineer a lot, but it can't print water. Great for a weekend, tricky for a lifetime if the faucet keeps shrinking. Now to a mega region where heat, wildfire smoke, and price creep all RSVP. Number 6, Los Angeles, California. You come for media jobs, farmers markets, that golden hour glow. Then wildfire smoke drops a filter you never ordered and your weather app becomes a vibe check. But here's the catch. Drought cycles squeeze the taps, and LA leans on imports from the Owens, the State Water Project, and the Colorado River while legal fights and climate stress shrink the pie. Heat islands cook some blocks far hotter than others. AC turns into a monthly subscription that rivals a car note. Santa Ana wines plus hillside homes equals evacuation maps on the fridge. Concrete river channels move water fast. Yet one intense burst still floods neighborhoods and triggers debris flows after burns. Insurance? Tightening. Wildfire zones see premiums jump or policies vanish. So the real cost stacks. Rent or mortgage, then cooling, retrofits, and coverage. Speaking of expensive magnets, fog and tech await on shaky ground. Number 7, San Francisco, California. 6 figures and instant noodles. You pay the rent because the views slap until the storms do. Then the sidewalk becomes a stream, and the basement storage you forgot about becomes a wading pool. But here's the catch. Atmospheric rivers turn low corridors into funnels. Sea level rise lines up the Embarcadero and Mission Bay for repeat hits. The fix isn't cheap. Aging seawalls need billions, and the rebuild moves slow. Hills shed water straight into flat blocks, so one downpour equals hydrant on full blast. Wind events bring planned shutoffs, and you're urban camping with a headlamp, guarding your freezer like it's gold. Air quality spikes now show up like an annual season. Masks and purifiers help, but a paycheck can't buy a new shoreline. Tech money buys gadgets. The Bay keeps climbing. North of here, the climate haven pitch runs into a different heat. Number 8, Portland, Oregon. Coffee, bikes, trees. Then the 2021 heat dome hit 115 degrees Fahrenheit and cracked Portland's brand in a weekend. Streets felt like stovetops. Transit shelters turned into ovens. It wasn't weird weather. It was a systems test the city failed. But here's the catch. Homes were built for drizzle, not desert numbers. Many lacked AC. East Portland cooked the worst. Less tree canopy, more asphalt, lower incomes, more exposure. That heat map lines up with race and income like a cruel overlay. Wildfire smoke now shows up like a season. Skies go sepia, AQ. I jumps to unhealthy, and outdoor plans die. Drought stresses forests. Rivers warm, fish struggle, and tourism takes a hit. Here's the thing. Heat deaths during the dome pushed AC adoption, but gaps remain, and canopy disparities persist. Portland still reads haven on paper, retrofit or suffer. Now trade rain for humidity and trees for traffic. Number 9, Atlanta, Georgia. Big house, hot job market, great food. Then June rolls in and the air turns chewable. You open your weather app and the heat index laughs back. It's real, it's happening. But here's the catch. Humidity plus heat pushes wet bulb hours where your body can't cool off. Sprawl adds lanes and parking lots, which trap heat and speed runoff. Pop-up storms hit and streets flip fast. Basement units take the first hit. Heat maps show the urban heat island biting harder where tree canopy thinned. Less shade, higher temps, more ER visits. AC runs nonstop and the bill climbs like a gym membership you can't cancel. Intense rain arrives in bursts, stormwater systems choke, and flood flashiness spikes. Number 10, Jackson, Mississippi. You go for the low mortgage, porch swings, and sweet tea. Then the tap runs brown, and the boil notices stack like junk mail. Let that sink in. But here's the catch. Decades of underinvestment collide with extreme rain and heat. The O.B. Curtis and J.H. fuel plants get overwhelmed. Pipes crack. Pressure drops. People line up for bottled water like it's the 1800s. Here's the thing. No reliable water turns heat waves brutal. No cooling, no sanitation, no safety net. Schools close. Businesses limp. Public health warnings pile up, and the economic drag is real. Federal and state fixes are in motion. EPA and DOJ involvement. Funding announced. Rebuild scheduled. But timelines stretch into 2026 and beyond. Climate extremes keep stress testing outdated gear, so the cheap house looks expensive fast. Livability starts at the tap. Without it, everything else is marketing.